Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday, February the 17th, and time once again for the mailbag. Hope you guys have had an awesome week and a great weekend. Mine has been really, really good, if I don't mind saying so. Not really much to announce, except to say that today, in about 3 hours' time, 10 a.m., you're going to get the shortlist announcements for the BookTube SFF Awards. So be around for that. And also, I guess I should put in my weekly plug for, Hugo nominations, right? Because that's a thing. Otherwise, I don't really have much to yammer on about, thank God, because there are a ton of packages this week. It's a huge week in the mailbag. 14 envelopes, I count, so, no time like the present. I'm going to start out with this one that says it's from Simon and Schuster. And this looks to be the finished copy of When We Were Magic, which is a new YA novel from Sarah Gailey, who has also just now published Upright Women Wanted through Tor.com. So she is on a roll right now. But this one is described as a witchy dark comedy thriller. All right, then. Comes out March the 3rd. And it is described here as a moving, darkly funny novel about 4 teens whose magic goes wildly awry. In the midst of the thriller storyline and dark comedy, there's a sweet, touching romance between Alexis and her close friend Roya. So there's FF romance, all right, got it. Keeping your magic a secret is hard. Being in love with your best friend is harder. Yeah, that's awkward. Friend crushes are bad. Yeah. Alexis has always been able to rely on 2 things, her best friends and the magic powers they all share. Their secret is what brought them together, and their love for each other is unshakable, even when that love is complicated. Complicated by problems like jealousy or insecurity or lust or love. That unshakable, complicated love is one of the only things that doesn't change on prom night. When accidental magic goes sideways and a boy winds up dead, Alexis and her friends come together to try to right a terrible wrong. Their first attempt fails, and their second attempt fails even harder. Left with the remains of their failed spells and more consequences than anyone could have predicted, each of them must find a way to live with their part of the story. Oh dear. Okay. So it's a witchy, magic-y, romancy sort of thing that seems like it's tailor-made for the YA crowd. All right, and it will be out from Simon Pulse on March the 3rd, When We Were Magic. Okay, I have a few here now that look like they are from HarperCollins. And the first of these is Crush the King, which is the third and final volume in the Crown of Shards trilogy, which started out with Kill the Queen and then Protect the Prince. So, yes, everybody has it in for the King and Queen in this one. Anybody read these? Just out of curiosity? I mean, I've gotten them, but, I haven't really heard a whole lot of buzz about them on BookTube or elsewhere. So, just curious. But anyway, it goes on to say the novel certainly doesn't disappoint. Non-stop action from page to page, to the gripping conclusion, whirls from castle intrigue to the blood-rending dangers of the gladiator pit. Oh, yeah, sounds cool. There are fantastical beasts, a murderous king, swoon-worthy romantic interludes, and a perfectly choreographed queenly gambit. Oh my. Intrigue runs high as Everly, the Winter Queen of Bologna, faces off with her most hated, dangerous enemy Maximus, King of Morta, and his fiendish bastard brigade. Okay. I mean, if you're going to join a brigade, might as well call yourself something awesome. But Evie is not alone in her fight to save her kingdom. She's joined by her loyal cadre, including gladiator and guard Paloma, intrigue master Xenia, fierce dragon shapeshifter Cho, the assassin Cyrilda, loyal captain of the guard Auster, and of course Evie's consort, the princely mage Sullivan. This is a huge cast. This is like some, Choi Hark movie, from Hong Kong, if you've ever seen his wuxia films. Yeah, seems like that, like a million things going on at once. Okay then, so this comes out, Crush the King, from Harper Voyager, comes out March the 17th. And next up from Harper Voyager, we have Queen of Storms. This is by Ray Feist, comes out July the 14th. All right, and this is the second book in his series, The Firemane Saga. First of which was King of Ashes a couple years ago. I really kind of want to start these because these have nothing to do with Raymond Feist's Rift War saga novels, of which there are like 3,000 or something. So you don't have to like get caught up on all these books to understand this one. It was apparently a brand new series, brand new world, all that sort of thing. But it says, dark and powerful forces threaten the world of Garn once more in this second installment in the legendary fantasy master's heroic saga of sword and sorcery. Okay, following the events of King of Ashes, I guess I can read this, it won't be spoily. Hattusili and his young wife Hava have arrived in the prosperous trading town of Baran's Hill to restore and reopen the fire-damaged Inn of the Three Stars. They are also preparing for the popular Midsummer Festival where their friends Declan and Gwen will be wed, but Hatu and Hava are not the ordinary loving couple they appear to be. They are assassins from the mysterious island of Koltachin. Oh, Thomas, you just mangle this stuff and there's no hope, right? Anyway, Koltachin, I'll go with that. Home to the powerful and lethal Nakusara, the fearsome hidden warriors. Posing as innkeepers, they are awaiting instructions from their masters in the Kingdom of Night. So apparently they're up to no good, and it goes on like that. So it's this kind of epic fantasy sort of a thing. Queen of Storms, so the sequel to King of Ashes, and this will be out, as I said, on July the 14th. Now, this next one, also from Harper Voyager, has me really excited. This is a new space opera by K.B. Wagers, who has done the Andranian Saga, all those novels from Orbit. This one is called A Pale Light in the Black, and it says, The Expanse meets the battle room in Ender's Game. The first rollicking entry in a unique science fiction series that introduces the Near-Earth Orbital Guard, Neo-G, a military force patrolling and protecting space inspired by the real-life mission of the U.S. Coast Guard. Okay. Comes out March the 3rd, it says. Comprised of a diverse crew of characters, Wagers introduces readers to a world in which Earth's military has expanded beyond the atmosphere, and its near-Earth orbital guard is its peacekeeper above the clouds. To keep skill sharp and vigilance level high, the Guard participates in the annual Boarding Games, a competition pitting military branches and their service members against each other to see just who is best in events like tactical problem solving, piloting, fencing and martial arts, and of course boarding actions. For the past year, Neo-G's close loss in the annual Boarding Games has haunted Interceptor Team, Zuma's Ghost. With this year's competition looming, they're looking forward to some payback until an unexpected personnel change leaves them reeling. Their best swordsman has been transferred, and a new lieutenant has been assigned in his place. Maxine Carmichael is trying to carve a place in the world on her own, away from the pressure and influence of her powerful family. The last thing she wants is to cause trouble at her command on Jupiter Station. With her new team in turmoil, Max must overcome her self-doubt and win their trust if she's going to succeed. Failing is not an option, and would only prove her parents right. But Max and the team must learn to work together quickly. A routine mission to retrieve a missing ship has suddenly turned dangerous. And now their lives are on the line. Someone is targeting members of Zuma's Ghost, a mysterious opponent willing to kill to safeguard a secret that could shake society to its core. A secret that could lead to their deaths and kill thousands more unless Max and her new team stop them. Okay then. Better get their gaming skills up to par then. But A Pale Light in the Black, sounds like it's a lot of fun, will be out March the 3rd in hardcover from Harper Voyager. Okay, I think that's everything, at least for the time being, from Harper. We are moving on. This is a package from Bloomsbury. I think I know what it might be. Yeah, my guess was right, because I've already gotten this one as an ARC. It's really pretty, though. This is the naked hardcover here. It doesn't have a dust jacket. It's just like this. This is The Lost Future of Peper Harow. The author is Natasha Pulley. This will be out tomorrow, the 18th. And this is the sequel to her earlier novel, The Watchmaker of Filigree Street, about which I've heard good things. Nathaniel Steepleton, an unassuming translator, and Kieta Mori, a watchmaker who remembers the future, pick up 5 years after the first book in Japan in 1888. Nationalism is on the rise and ghosts roam the streets. Nathaniel has received an unexpected posting to the British legation in Tokyo, and Mori has business that is taking him to Yokohama. Nathaniel's brief is odd. The legation staff has been seeing ghosts, and Nathaniel's first task is to find out what's really going on. But while staying with Mori at his family home, he starts to experience ghostly happenings himself. For reasons Mori won't or can't share, he is frightened, then he vanishes. Meanwhile, something strange is happening in a frozen labor camp in northern Japan. Tokiko Pepper Harrow,
an old friend of Mori's, must investigate. As the weather turns bizarrely electrical and ghosts haunt the country from Tokyo to Aokigahara Forest, had to work that in, Thaniel grows convinced that it all has something to do with Mori's disappearance and that Mori may be in serious danger. This actually sounds fun as hell. I gotta be honest. So, all right then, The Lost Future of Peper Harow does sound kind of like it could stand on its own, though, you know, if you hadn't read the first book. But anyway, out tomorrow from Bloomsbury. Moving on down the stack, this one is from Random Penguin. And in from Del Rey, we have the arc for Bonds of Brass. This actually isn't going to be the cover. They have changed the cover. This will be out April the 7th. The author is Emily Skrutsky. And, you know, this is priced as an adult SF novel, right? Adult space opera. But the way it reads and the way it looks very YA to me. Emily Skrutsky ordinarily writes YA. It says a young pilot risks everything to save his best friend, the man he trusts most and might even love, only to learn that his friend is secretly the heir to a brutal galactic empire. Etienne's life was shattered when the merciless Umber Empire invaded his world. He spent 7 years putting himself back together under its rule, joining an Umber military academy and becoming the best pilot in his class. Even better, he's met Gal, his exasperating and infuriatingly enticing roommate, who's made the academy feel like a new home. But when dozens of classmates spring on an assassination plot on Gal, a devastating secret comes to light. Gal is the heir to the Umber Empire. Etienne barely manages to save his best friend and flee the compromised academy unscathed, rattled that Gal stands to inherit the empire that broke him, and that there are still people willing to fight back against Umber rule. As they piece together a way to deliver Gal safely to his throne, Etienne finds himself torn in half by an impossible choice. Does he save the man who's won his heart and trust that Gal's goodness could transform the Empire, or does he throw his lot in with the brewing rebellion and fight to take back what's rightfully theirs? I guess you'll see how it all pans out on April the 7th from Del Rey, Bonds of Brass. And next up, also from Random Penguin, from Daw this time, this is the arc for Unreconciled. Coming out May the 12th, this is the 4th volume in W. Michael Gear's Donovan series. Now, I look at these, and I gotta admit, they do look intriguing. I feel like I really should catch up. This apparently is all about a space colony where things go tits up really fast. And just things go from bad to worse. A marginal colony, here it is, on a living world, where human life and human will are tested to the limits. It says it's recommended, I guess, for people who like Scalzi, Greg Bear, maybe some C.J. Cherry, that sort of thing. I guess, what can I say that won't spoil stuff? Using his expertise as both an anthropologist and archaeologist, that's the author, Gear has realized a treacherous alien world where both corporate threats and deadly creatures imperil the lives of its colonists. Unreconciled returns us to Gear's perilous universe as Ashanti, a spaceship carrying a cult of cannibals, see what I mean? It just gets really extra, appears in Donovan's skies. With a cult of cannibals on a spaceship, how do they stock rations? Is there just like extra red shirt crew that they eat? I mean, how does that work? Anyway, it says Ashanti was designed for no more than 4 years in space. She's been gone for 10. So there's probably like 2 guys left on the crew by now. Now she's back in Donovan's atmosphere, and the few survivors of her voyage, right, have become a cannibalistic cult of monsters known as the Unreconciled. Well, I can't see that ending well, but in any event, Unreconciled Book 4 of the Donovan series will be out May the 12th from Daw. And another one from Random Penguin. And I'm very happy to see this. This is Mark Lawrence's The Girl in the Ice. Comes out from Ace Books on April the 21st. It's the first book in the brand new The Book of the Ice series. It's set in the same world as the Book of the Ancestor series. Let's see, there is a hole into which broken children are thrown. Yaz's people call it the Pit of the Missing, and now it is drawing her in, as she always knew it would. To resist the cold and endure the months of night requires a special breed. Variation is dangerous, difference is fatal, and Yaz is not the same. Yaz's difference tears her from her family, the only life she's ever known, sending her on a new path in a world she never knew existed. Yaz learns Abeth is older and stranger than she had ever imagined. She learns weaknesses are another kind of strength, and that the cruel arithmetic of survival that has always governed her people can be challenged. Okay then, so the girl in the stars sounds like she's going to have a hard time. in this book, but this will be out, as I said, from Ace in hardcover on April the 21st, and I will probably bump it up the review queue because I'm sure a lot of you are curious about this one. Okay, still a few to go here, and I think everything left from here to the end of the episode is going to be coming in from Macmillan. And the first of these is the finished copy of Chris Kluwe's Otaku. I've already gotten this one as an ARC. This comes out March the 3rd. Now, Chris Kluwe was, at one time an NFL player, and he's a real sort of tech nerd and SF nerd. I actually met him about 5 years ago in Chicago at the Nebula banquet conference. Super nice guy. Really enjoyed talking to him. Ditch Town, a city of skyscrapers built atop the drowned bones of old Miami. A prison of steel filled with unbelievers. A dumping ground for strays, runaways, and malcontents. Within these towering monoliths, Ashley Akachi is a young woman trying her best to cope with a brother who's slipping away, a mother who's already gone, and angry young men who want to put her in her place. Ditch Town, however, is not the only world Ash inhabits. Within Infinite Game, a virtual world requiring physical perfection, Ash is Ashura the Terrible, leader of the Sun Jewel Warriors, loved, feared, and watched by millions across the globe. Haptic chambers, known as hapspheres, translate their every move in the real to the digital, and the Sun Jewel Warriors' feats are legendary. However, Ash is about to stumble upon a deadly conspiracy that will set her worlds crashing together, and in the real, you only die once. Okay then, with an exciting and inventive story, reminiscent of Ready Player One, and Ender's Game, Chris Kluwe's Otaku is a page-turning read that serves as an ode to gaming, as well as a thought-provoking look at our culture. Okay, and this will be out from Tor, in hardcover, as I said, on March the 3rd. And next in from Tor.com is what looks to be the finished copy, in paperback, of The Order of the Pure Moon, Reflected in Water. This is a new novella from Zen Show. It says it presents a fresh modern take on Chinese wuxia stories. In this classic bandit tale, a mischievous nun named Guet Im joins a crew of outlaws who are on a job trying to sell a sacred object. Hijinks naturally ensue, and Guet Im soon proves her worth to the skeptical bandit leaders. Fast-paced, laugh-out-loud, funny, and absolutely charming. Okay, and Zen Show is a Malaysian fantasy writer. Best known for Sorcerer in the Crown, To the Crown, and The True Queen. And so this is her very first novella from Tor.com, and it will be out on June the 23rd. All right, and this next one is definitely a surprise. Came completely out of left field for me, anyway. This is a book called A Song Below Water. This is an arc from Tor Teen for a book coming out on June the 2nd, it says. And it says, CW's Legacies meets Nick Stone's Dear Martin in Bethany C. Morrow's young adult fantasy debut, A Song Below Water, about two black best friends discovering their magical identities against today's challenges of racism and sexism. Apparently it's about black mermaids. Tavia is already at odds with the world, forced to keep her siren identity under wraps in a society that wants to keep her kind under lock and key. Never mind, she's also stuck in Portland, Oregon, a city with only a handful of black folk and even fewer of those with magical powers. At least she has her bestie Effie by her side as they tackle high school drama, family secrets, and unrequited crushes. But everything changes in the aftermath of a siren murder trial that rocks the nation. The girl's favorite internet fashion icon reveals she's also a siren, and the news rips through their community. Tensions escalate when Effie starts being haunted by demons from her past, and Tavia accidentally lets out her magical voice during a police stop. No secret seems safe anymore. Soon, Portland won't be either. The author is Bethany C. Morrow. They're really pulling out all the stops for this one. Comes out, as I said, June the 2nd. Let me know in the comments. And moving on down to the next package from Tor. This appears to be the finished copy in trade paperback, very shiny, very lovely, of Bernd Purpley's book Black Leviathan, which is basically Moby Dick with dragons. It unfolds in a world of dragon hunters, in an epic revenge fantasy. Beware, a shadow will cover you, larger than that cast by any other dragon of this world. Black is the lightless chasm from whence it was born at the beginning of time. In the coastal city of Skarkagar, residents make a living from hunting dragons from airborne ships and the wide expanse of the Cloudmere. Leon has made an enemy of a dangerous man and ships out on the next vessel as a Drakenjager, or dragon hunter. He chooses the wrong ship A fanatic captain hunts more than just any dragon. His goal is the firstborn gargantuan, and Aderon is prepared to sacrifice everything for revenge. All right, then. Black Leviathan from Burned Purplies, and it will be available on February the 25th. And in case you're curious about the author, based on his name or what have you, that is translated from the German, and apparently Burned Purplies is very, very popular over there. All right, so 2 more packages from Tor. And this one is the Firmament of Flame. This one actually is already out. This came out on the 4th of February. It's the 3rd installment in Drew Williams' epic space adventure Universe After series that began with The Stars Now Unclaimed and continued in A Chain Across the Dawn. Okay? It says, for nearly a century, the Justified have been searching for gifted children to help prevent the return of the Pulse. Until recently, they thought they were the only ones. Jane Kamali and her telekinetic protege Issa, now 17, barely managed to claim victory against a Sin, a being of pure energy. Hell-bent on hunting down the gifted. Now they face an army. The Sin and their followers will stop at nothing to find Issa and the others. And this is being aimed towards fans, it says, of Firefly and The Expanse. Okay? Drew Williams' The Firmament of Flame is now available from Tor in trade paperback. And we wrap up this week with the finished copy in hardcover from Tor of The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. They're describing it as the epic fantasy debut everyone is raving about. Well, I do know that my buddy Paul Weimer has read this and really, really thought highly of it, so that's something. Let's see. Okay, this is out now. This came out on the 11th in hardback, and it goes like this. Csorwe, or I'm going to say Sorwe, Csorwe, is the hero epic fantasy has been waiting for. What if you knew how and when you will die? Sorwe does. She will climb the mountain, enter the Shrine of the Unspoken, and become the child sacrifice for a dark, nameless god. But when the day comes, a powerful mage offers her a new fate. Leave and live. Makes sense? Sorwe joins the wizard as his thief, spy, and assassin, and helps him topple an empire and reclaim his seat of power. Sorwe creates a new destiny for herself, but doing so reshapes the destinies of multiple worlds. And when she rescues a powerful sorceress, she finds out that gods remember. And if you live long enough, all debts come due. Find out why everyone is obsessed with this rich, thoughtful, and unapologetically queer fantasy debut. Okay, then. And the author is A.K. Larkwood. It's a debut novel. And let's see. Unspoken Name. As I said, it is available now in hardcover from Tor Books. And that, I don't mind saying, was a terrifically busy week for the mailbag. So, you guys know the drill. Light up the comments. Let me know which of these looks most interesting and exciting to you, which you would like to see me prioritize for review. Otherwise, if you enjoyed watching, as always, hit that like button, share the video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe. If you've not done so, that is how the channel grows. You can also support the channel at my TeePublic store and at my Patreon, where recruits into Wink's Army get little perks like getting early access to some of my videos. As always, I want to thank those amazing people for their wonderful extra support. Haven't really done a push for the Patreon in a while. Essentially, what I use that money for is to pay my artist, Matt Olson, who does these wonderful thumbnails for me. That's what that money goes to. So, $2 a month. If you think about it, go ahead, think about it. But otherwise, I want to thank all the rest of you for being the greatest viewers in all of BookTube, and until I see you all next time, happy reading.